Welcome to KocoSports Weekly Impact Wrestling Review. I am the huge one, Dave Coco from KocoSports.com, KocoSports.net. It takes you to the same place. It's where the world comes to kick ass. Your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. And for the first time in a long time, we have someone in my corner. We got someone in Coco's corner for the hot tag. American Alucard will be joining us for this Impact review. American Alucard, tell them where they can find you. But above that, every week we ask, win, loss, or tie, what did you think? So the Internet Infantry, please down in the comments put win, loss, or tie. And if you could, I actually pay for the UFC, and I can't see the UFC till hours it goes off the air. So if you could just, like, pretend the UFC isn't happening. Man, spoilers kill the UFC at Impact for me, especially living in Japan and working during Impact. I'm so anti-spoilers. But put down in the comments, win, loss, or tie, what you thought of this Impact. I'm going to find this one a bit interesting, because Impact's been on a bit of a winning streak lately. American Alucard, tell them where they can find you, and overall, what'd you think? Win, loss, or tie?
Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just type in American Alucard, and that's it. And as far as the Impact, I think it was a tie. You know, it wasn't as good as the past ones were, but it wasn't just like, oh my God, this is fucking horrible. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it's a tie too. I have to agree. My reasoning behind it is, I don't know how you are about spoilers, but if I plan on watching the event, like I plan on watching UFC, I plan on watching Impact, I try to avoid spoilers like anything. But in TNA, it's almost impossible because you have WWE haters going on to like TNA official pages and giving spoilers. And I don't know, I think this might have been a lot more exciting if spoilers didn't sneak out. And the big thing that it pisses me off about this is the Beatdown Clan. I love all four of these athletes. And I think for the first time, it's official. This is a complete failure. I love all four athletes. It is a complete failure. In the past, it's a complete failure at kayfabe, and anyone that reads spoilers or just keeps up with the news knows it's a complete failure. It breaks my heart that the Beatdown Clan wasn't booked better, wasn't treated better, and just all around, I mean, not including the talent, just the story. The Beatdown Clowns, we'll just call them the Clowns. The Beatdown Clowns really might be worse booked than Aces and Eights. I mean, at least Aces and Eights knew they were fucking annoying. I don't think the Beatdown Clan knows they're annoying. And it's just bad future booking, bad. It's just any way you cut it. You're like, I don't know about spoilers. It's still bad. I just live in the kayfabe world. It's still bad. I know, you know what I mean? It breaks my heart because I love all four of these athletes, and creative ruined them. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to, well, like how would you say that it got ruined? Like just by losing?
All right. Well, no. We'll stick in kayfabe worse. Let's not even go against spoilers, because here's the thing: if you don't know about spoilers, you don't know how much it's going to get worse. But it's pretty much news now. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't even a spoiler. Samoa Joe leaving, and then there's more. There's a lot more that just happens to this group where you're just like, are you fucking for real? All right, but let's live in just the kayfabe world. Why this was ruined? All right. You have four great athletes. Kenny King is Glass Joe. Let's be completely honest. He's fucking Glass Joe, and he's way more talented than Glass Joe. He shouldn't be treated the way he's treated, all right? Low Key is the X Division champ. We're not going to the future. But he never brings out the belt, never fucking has matches, so basically he became fucking not Soda Pop. Who's the next guy after Glass Joe? He's a little tougher than Glass Joe, but he's still pathetic. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Fuck, he's the German guy?
I thought you were saying just like an Intercontinental Champion, because most Intercontinental Champions are booked badly now.
Yeah, so basically you got Low Key. Then you got Samoa Joe, which there's no way anyone doesn't know what's going on with Samoa Joe. You know what I mean? And then you have MVP. All right, so let's just look at storylines. You have these 4 guys that are supposed to be badasses, right? And then you have a pay-per-view, free pay-per-view, and 4 random faces that hate each other. Like, oh, fuck you, Angle, fuck you, Aries, fuck you, Lashley. Get together, beat them easily. First try.
They don't hate each other.
That's bullshit. Yeah, of course they do. Austin Aries hates Angle. Austin Aries hates Lashley. Angle and Lashley hate each other. These are 4 fucking athletes, and then, Gunner. I think Gunner was there. And not only that, but look at the Gunner storyline. Look at the Gunner storyline. Gunner's like, I broke my fucking hip, leg, arm, fucking, oh my god, look at me. I look worse than a fucking Marine falling out of a goddamn helicopter. You know what? Let's put him out first. Like, it doesn't even fucking make sense. Like, unless the creative team's like, you know what? Fuck the Beatdown Clan. Let's just make them look beyond fucking embarrassing. They did it. They fucking did it. And even tonight, everyone and their fucking mother ran in except the main characters. Like, where were the main characters? So, okay, let's say for Bobby Lashley to beat MVP in the Beatdown Clan, he's gonna need friends. So these are just random fucking people. You got 3MB, you got fucking Eric Young, and it's just like, are you fucking for real? You know what? It was bad at that free pay-per-view. It was bad. Like, the storytelling, they're fucking jokes. And then, to keep knowing the future, I'm going to have to say, I love all 4 of these athletes. You know what? If all 4 walked away from TNA, they have every right to do it. Every right. I mean, what the fuck? We were behind it, we were cheering, and even, like, because, they got a bunch of WWE producers in the back, and they're like, oh, we're different in WWE. Let's hire every single person that's ever been in WWE. So they have the WWE way of thinking, like, well, we got to make them heels and cowards, and they're not getting over. But there's You Sold Out chants. They're going absolutely crazy in England. You know what? It breaks my fucking heart. It just breaks my, first off, no more Samoa Joe breaks my heart. But then, they finally have a heel faction that pure wrestling fans can get behind. Kenny King, if you've never watched him outside of TNA, he's really, really good. A lot of people only know him from Tough Enough and TNA. But no, go check out his FIP. Go check out his Ring of Honor stuff. He's a really, really good wrestler. You wouldn't know that. I mean, really, what the fuck? He's Glass Joe. You got MVP, who could hold his own in the ring, held his own in New Japan, great talent. Yeah, they're fuck. Know what it is? This is the problem with WWE and this TNA storyline. You're supposed to book the faces as underdogs. Like, oh, how are they going to overcome the odds? But the only people overcoming any odds are the fucking goddamn heels in both companies. You know what I mean? Like if you said right now, all 4 members of the Beatdown Clan are going to go against one Kurt Angle, the way that works in their kayfabe world is like, wow, how can the 4 Beatdown Clan members even have a chance against Kurt Angle? And then also, we forgot about the Gauntlet. Remember the Gauntlet? Kurt Angle pretty much beat the fuck out of everyone. Why? You know what? Why even get our hopes up? If you're a low-key Samoa Joe fan, Kenny King, MVP fan, which I am, why? Did you do this just to be like, you know what? Fuck you and you fucking liking wrestling. Fuck you. I don't know. And TNA has been on a huge winning streak. But, it just snapped. I have to give it a tie, because my whole thing is, if you don't give a shit about the Beatdown Clan, and there's some people that don't, then it was just a regular show. But, really, there is no fucking heel-dominant faction. There is, I mean, you might as well fucking call them, who's the Globetrotters' enemy? The Generals? Is that the Globetrotters? Yeah. They're the fucking Generals! The Generals probably have a goddamn better winning streak than the Beatdown Clan. Thank goodness Samoa Joe is going to be at fucking Las Vegas.
Well, Kurt Angle, he did a nice showing in the Gauntlet, but down to the last 5, he kind of outsmarted the rest of the Beatdown Clan because like he didn't beat up everybody. He just like tossed them over when they got overzealous, and then MVP had to throw him out because of the Beatdown Clan interference. So
I just want to steal a line from The Rock. I'm going to paraphrase the line. Not The Rock the wrestler, but The Rock the movie. Oh, great. They don't think we're cowards. They think we're incompetent. I mean, come on. Come on. Oh, man. I don't know. It's just, there's something about American Pro Wrestling, and TNA slides under the radar a little bit just because WWE is so much worse.
Yeah.
If you're a good guy, you don't have to be invincible. We need more diehards, less Superman. You know, the odds are not supposed to... And people are like, oh, people always cheer for the heel. No shit, there's 4 of them, and fucking they're getting their ass whooped by one fucking dude. Eventually you're going to be like, man, I hope one of those 4 dudes get the best of that one fucking dude. The odds are stacked in favor of the invincible faces, which makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. And it breaks my heart because I could see if they kept this intact, kept it a decent... Like, if they showed any of these 4 wrestlers 10% of the respect they deserve, I could see buying their merchandise and rooting for them. Who the fuck? This is the worst. You know what? You know, I have a conspiracy theory, and I'm going to throw the conspiracy theory out here, okay? Ready? I have a conspiracy theory that there's some in WWE that want Roman Reigns to fail so that they could say, see, we should have stuck with John Cena. I believe that. I believe that in my heart of hearts. I don't think everyone's like that, but I think there is a chunk in WWE that wants Roman Reigns to fail so that they can say, oh, see, we should have stayed with Cena. See, you know what I mean? I honestly think that with TNA, there's people that wanted Aces and Eights not to fail, and they're going to make Beatdown Clan fail and be like, see, Aces and Eights weren't that bad. I mean, Aces and Eights were really bad. Their storyline was absolutely fucking horrible. It made it a joke.
Yeah, the storyline was bad. Bully's Ray's title ran. Oh yeah, I think the main reason Aces and Eights failed is because of the people they brought in. If it would just been the 2 young guys, Bully Ray, Doc Gallows, and probably a good enforcer. No, what was the other guy? The guy that's now in the menagerie.
Shit. I know who you're talking about, the beard there.
Yeah, no, if it had just been them, it would have stood a chance because you had the young guns, the veterans, and the centerpiece Bully Ray, who was doing excellent heel work at the time.
Yeah, Bully Ray really was impressive, but his group sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just, if we could have a moment of silence for the Beatdown Clan, because I just see so much potential, and, you know, it is the first time in a long time that you could be like, wow, TNA creative really, really ruined someone. And that's not fair. This is the first time since moving to Destination America that I felt like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, TNA hasn't been perfect on Destination America, but it seems like TNA eliminated a lot of mistakes. I think the Beatdown Clan booking is their first major mistake on Destination America.
I think after Samoa Joe leaves, I think they're going to replace him with either Homicide or Chris Hero. It might be a kind of improvement, not really to on Samoa Joe's part, but in terms of making the group look more viable if they do the right booking in terms of storyline.
I don't know. To me, with Samoa Joe there, you have. As close to a TNA original as you can have. He's not really a TNA original, but he's as close as you can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you had someone, Samoa Joe has been in some of the best feuds ever, some of the best matches ever. You had a guy that, like, old school TNA fans could get behind. And now, no, I don't think there's anyone you can replace him with. I hope I'm wrong, but... I don't know, because, like, here's the thing. TNA, I've watched from day one. I can't say I've been a fan from day one. There's been times where TNA has been really, really bad. But Destination America, the last few months they were on Spike, they really were getting their shit together. But, Daniel's leaving, AJ leaving, And now Joe leaving, it's like, it's almost got to the point where, like, if you were paying for the weekly pay-per-views, there's almost no more heroes to root for. It's like, you know, because, like, it's so funny because, like, the newer TNA fans are like, you're just a WWE fanboy. They're like, no, I actually like old school TNA from the, you know, the thing. And, like, then they, like, badmouth old school TNA. It's so weird, fucking. Some TNA fans are so fucking weird. But, because they just don't admit that they hate WWE. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, I love TNA, you're just a WWE fanboy. No, I actually liked TNA back in the day. Well, it fucking sucked back then. But then, if you weren't watching back then, what were you watching? I hate WWE! Click. Alright. Alright, I see where this conversation's going.
I kind of see how losing Samoa Joe is a big deal, but then he's been there for almost 10 years. If getting new, I don't know if they want to get new faces in there or anything like that, but maybe sometimes it's best to move on. I mean, we don't expect AJ, Samoa Joe, Daniels, Kazarian to wrestle there until they, well, maybe if they had a big budget like WWE, they could retire there, but we don't expect those guys to be there forever. I mean, there's going to be a point in time when Rude, Aries, they leave, Kurt Angle leaves. Hell,
Know what I think? I think you have a great point, but I think TNA booking back in the Hogan era ruined that. Because what happened is Hulk Hogan comes in, right?
Okay.
And AJ Styles is the token. You know, he's like, oh, look, he's the TNA guy, and Samoa Joe and Daniels have to take a back seat. And then you're like, oh, well, we want the originals. And then Hulk Hogan leaves, and then it's like, okay, it's about time to have the originals. Oh, we're just going to cut them? Oh, okay, pardon me. I was along the ride thinking once Hogan and his buddy left, we see some originals. Okay. Like, it's so funny because, like, you know, it's almost like the new creative team's like, oh, we hear you. You want originals? You want to see what your guys would do in the originals? No problem. We will never, ever badly book an original. We'll just cut them. Oh, okay, that's a step up. You know, maybe AJ, Daniels, and Joe were booked horribly, but you did make an improvement. You did, you know, like, it's one of those campaign promises or genie wishes that come back to bite you on the ass. Like, I can see new TNA creative. We will never badly book the originals that you fell in love with. Just cut them. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, you did keep your campaign promise. You are not fucking making the originals look bad. Just, but in Samoa Joe's defense, I mean, in TNA's defense, Samoa Joe did walk away. You know, so, and there was contract disputes and all, but still, you know, it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking if you're a long-term Impact fan.
True, but it's not to say those people won't be bad. I mean, AJ, he could retire in New Japan, but him going to TNA, that's not a far scratch off, especially like Daniels, Kazarian. They've said, hey, give him a chance, we'd be back to TNA, no problem. But I would sacrifice, you know, Samoa Joe leaving for some new young stars on TNA.
All right, well, we'll see. If new stars come up, maybe
if they work out. If they work out, you know.
Yeah. Now, my whole thing is with AJ Styles, just because I live in Japan and I get to read all the Japanese reports and interviews and stuff. AJ Styles said he would go back to TNA, but New Japan is #1, and New Japan and TNA have they have a bigger PP contest, and New Japan absolutely hates TNA, all because of Wrestle Kingdom 5.
Oh, I saw that match. Jeff Hardy, what were you thinking?
Dude, go back. You know, and like a lot of people are like, oh, fucking no, Dave, you're full of shit. You always change. Go back to, I think it's on YouTube. Go back when I talk about Jeff Hardy coming to Wrestle Kingdom. And I don't want to say I was right, but fucking thank goodness YouTube doesn't crash and close my channel down. I said Jeff Hardy will not be sober. Jeff Hardy's a piece of shit. These are all things I said going into Wrestle Kingdom 5. Guess what happened? You know what sucks when you fucking think the worst of fucking human beings? You're mostly always right. And that's a sad world we live in. All right,
It's a complete world now from Jeff Hardy. It's sad that you didn't see the Jeff Hardy we see now, who's clean and sober, in Wrestle Kingdom, and we saw the dark side of Jeff Hardy with the drug.
Yeah. Well, what you call it, and like, there's people in the New Japan staff that hates American companies. Like, there's rumors. Now, this is just rumors. Don't take it as fact. Well, some things are fact, but then like, the fact is, JR and Mr. Lucha Underground, Matt Striker, were not introduced on stage. We're not given a countdown. That's why, like, if you watch the American pay-per-view of Wrestle Kingdom, they're like, I guess we're live! Because they had no idea they were live. And the thing is, there are some New Japan employees that this is where it goes into rumor stage. They didn't introduce JR and Striker because they remember how they were treated at TNA. So, like, the way TNA treated New Japan remembered that and didn't give any special treatment to JR. And I don't know how true that is. I'm sure there are some employees that's true, but that's the rumor going around. Yeah, because JR and Striker were never given a countdown. They're just like, here's your table, here's your equipment, and they just left them alone. And I think it's because they sent out the red carpet, and Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy fucking were the biggest fucking scumbags ever to represent fucking your company ever. And I love Rob Van Dam. I love Rob. They're a fucking scumbag. And not only that, but like, it's Wrestle Kingdom, and you know, in Japan, I'm actually writing a book. It's not the next one that's coming out. It's the next one, or the third book of it. But I'm writing one where like it describes how like Inside Pro Res describes drinking and all that. Because in Japan, you could be a functioning alcoholic and not be frowned upon, but like you have to be sober for your match. Like, if you're a fucking full-blown alcoholic, hey, dude, go for it. You know, they don't really do much drugs here. I mean, they do, but it's really frowned upon. Being an alcoholic is just really acceptable here. And, like, yeah, they have a rule. Like, oh, there's an unwritten rule. You can be drunk as fucking much as you want. Go fucking crazy. Drink yourself into a fucking coma. We don't give a shit. The day of the show, you have to be sober. And it's just crazy. And not only that, but if you go back and watch Wrestle Kingdom 5, I don't know if they made this to DVD because I was there live. A-Train and I think it was his tag team partner at the time was Carl Anderson. They cut a promo where they basically said TNA is a bunch of bags of shit and they're fucking absolutely fucking worthless. And at first I was like, oh, I think that's just in character. But the more I learned about Wrestle Kingdom 5, I'm like, I think he really fucking said TNA's a bag of shit. So, but I think if TNA, you know, and Dixie's very stubborn. If Dixie went over to New Japan and got it, I know Muda and tried to clear it up, you know, because New Japan was going to try to fuck with the pay-per-view and shit. But Muda kind of, you know, calmed that shit down. But I hope that TNA and New Japan work together again, because New Japan's more open to it. Just make sure your fucking athletes are sober, assholes.
I think a Jeff Hardy apology, I think he would have to apologize to the people of New Japan. It'll be a big step.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, so, these are taken where it is, but these are just strong rumors going around like the Japanese blogs. But the reason why JR wasn't shown on Japanese television, the reason Striker wasn't, because the employees of New Japan remember. Because at Wrestle Kingdom 5, it was a big deal. They fucking made TNA, you know, they brought out the red carpet. They brought all the announcers in the ring. They brought all the talent. They toured them around. Yeah, then nowadays it's like, what? You're part of an American company, sit in the fucking corner, do whatever the fuck you want, don't talk to me. You know, meanwhile, Noah's the one that, because if you watch Wrestle Kingdom, the newest Wrestle Kingdom 9, you could tell that they really put over Noah way more than they put over Global Force. You know, they're like, Pro Wrestling Noah's here! And here's fucking Jeff Jarrett. You know what I mean? So, it's interesting. All right, let's actually break this down. I'm just really heartbroken over Joe and Beatdown Clan. All right, so it starts off with the fucking four jabrones coming out, cutting a promo, basically cutting a message to Lashley and all that. I thought it was okay. It set up the match. Nothing amazing, nothing bad. What did you think about the opening segment?
I like the Kurt Angle and Lashley stuff. You know, it's not really making a Kurt Angle a heel. It's just, you know, building tension for a match they may or may not have coming up soon.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's one of those things, if you like the Beatdown Clan, it's like they're just an afterthought. Like, Kurt Angle's like, when this shit is over, when you're done with fucking Glass Joe and his friends over there, call me, and then we'll have a real feud. You know what? I'm a little bitter just about how the Beatdown Clan was said, so I want to apologize. I'm usually not... Okay, I'm a bitter person, but not usually towards the TNA. Then, the next match, you have EC3 and Tyrus versus Mr. Anderson and Rockstar Spud. You know, I enjoy this. I used to think Mr. Anderson was a blue chipper and had tons of potential. And then he got injured, had some hard times, and he was just a piece of shit. Like, pretty much most of his career was, he got fucked by WWE, I understand, but why are you being a piece of shit about it? This is the first time in a long time that Mr. Anderson's really hustling, and I see the potential. Because at one time I thought Mr. Anderson was going to be the next big main eventer. I really did. The way he was being pushed in WWE, and then, you know, he got injured, got cut because he was injured. He did an interview about that. And he comes to TNA, and I'm like, holy shit, here's the WWE guy. He could fucking really turn things around. What the fuck are you doing? You know? But this is the first time I saw potential or see good. I actually love this feud. This is very sports entertainment. I think EC3 and Spud are absolutely amazing. You know, Tyrus plays his role. You know, it is what it is. It's nothing.
He could be more of an enforcer, though. I think like he's kind of like not living up to the full potential, because he should be just ragdolling people.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I love EC3. I think he should be the face of the company in the future, and Spud is just absolutely amazing. The only thing that, like, it's a nitpick, but I also don't know where I stand on it. It's like, I love all four of these athletes in their roles. I love the position, but the fact that the feud... First off, I'm glad Jeremy Borash ain't part of this feud anymore. I love Jeremy Borash, but that was fucking ridiculous. But... I don't know, I feel a bit weird, because I'm like, oh, I love this feud, but it's like Brutus the Barber Beefcake shit, you know what I mean? And I know, you know, a lot of TNA fans are saying, well, it's because EC3 is injured, that's why his arm looks like RoboCop, and they're just trying to keep him on screen, which is good, because my humble opinion, I think EC3 should be the face of the heels of the company in the future. I believe that. And, I don't know. I enjoy it, but at the same time, like, it's for a fucking haircut. You know what I mean? I don't know. It feels very 80s for me, but I still enjoy it. Your winners is Rockstar Spud and Mr. Anderson, and I don't know. I was when he first appeared in WWE, I was super high on Mr. Kennedy / Mr. Anderson, and then his career fell apart. You know. I don't know what happened, real life situations, drama, all that. But this is the first time in a long time that I'm like, wow, I see the potential that I once saw, that he could be amazing again. And Spud is just pure comedy gold in EC3. So I really enjoy the match. I just feel funny sometimes. You know, a little funny in the funny bone that's like, this feud's over fucking a haircut? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Mr. Anderson... he's more transitioning into his role as more like a high card mid carder, a high level mid carder, and this is where TNA probably should bring out the TV belt. You know, for people like Anderson, maybe Gunner, you know, the guys that can't really. It can be S division since the S division is no limits, but if you really want to keep it S division, you know, you probably want to bring back that belt for these guys.
Yeah, see, and Andy Paps was talking about that. Andy Paps on Facebook, he was asking me if they should bring back, you know, a second-tier title, and that's not the X Division. And I just don't know if they're ready. Do you think they're ready? Do you think they could pull off a second-tier belt?
They should be able to. I mean, you got all these talented guys in the mid-card that, you know, they need some kind of title, and you could pick the X Division title on Brown, but because the X Division title is no limits, but is that really where you want to go? Would you want to see Mr. Anderson with the S Division title? They need something to go for if they're not ready, or at this point in the career, like Mr. Anderson, who's like over 35, I don't think he, ready at this time for a world title shot. Him holding the TV title could help elevate the mid card to, a better level.
Yeah, it's just the mid-card titles really scare me in America. And the reason I say that is because it gets lost in the shuffle. Where, like, in New Japan, they have fucking, like, if you count all the titles that come from other companies, there's probably, like, 90 billion titles. And that's not over-exaggeration. But they tell a story, and every title means something. The Intercontinental title and the Never title, a lot of newer fans don't know this about New Japan. Those are newer titles. They just magically appeared. The reason why they seem so important is because the athletes, the writers, the bookers, the company treat them as important. So if they do bring back a title and, Mr. Anderson and this feud goes after that second-tier title, they have to make it seem important. And I think WWE going into WrestleMania is making it important, but this is what scares me about TNA, is they do have a second-tier title, and he's playing the part of fucking Glass Joe's brother. You know what I mean? So it scares me. But yeah, I guess that could be our question of the day for the Ignorant Infantry. I don't know how many people are listening live just because we're going against Dana White. But if you hear this later, my question for you is this. Do you think TNA is ready for a second-tier title that's not the X Division champ? Do you say yes? I say I don't know. I honestly don't know. What's your final verdict on that?
They should, but only if they treat it as important. I mean, the TV title, if they bring it back, he's got to be on TV every television show.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. All right, let's move on to the next match. Very entertainment match there. Next is a segment. It's Taryn Terrell, and Taryn Terrell comes out. Gail Kim warns her that how awesome Kong really is. Taryn Terrell shows she's a fighting warrior, fighting Princess Warrior. It says, "Oh, I'm not afraid." The lights go out. Awesome Kong appears. They start feuding. Taryn Terrell is getting in a lot of work. Me being an Awesome Kong super fan, I'm like, what is going on? But then Awesome Kong turns it around and gives her the implant buster, and she just shows the title. But this is what I'm saying. Hashtag Stephanie, you're just a fucking cunt, fucking douchebag, son of a bitch. I actually love the Impact Women's division right now. Granted, I'm a huge Awesome Kong fan. I'm a huge Gail Kim fan. I think Taryn Terrell is the biggest surprise in women's wrestling in a very long time.
Especially after her WWE career.
Yeah, I never in a million years would have thought she was that fucking good. Ever in a million years. And it just shows you that WWE, hashtag go fuck yourself, Stephanie, is full of shit. Because, let me tell you something. Me and American Alucard, we watch a lot of pro wrestling. Did you ever think Taryn Terrell would be this good just from when you watched her on WWE?
No, it's Tiffany. I didn't even know that was her until I read some bad stories. Saw that she used to be Tiffany. I was like, oh, this might not turn out well. This may be something bad that happens in TNA, but she turned it around and became a good women's star in TNA.
Yeah, and I really enjoy it. And not only that, but what this hashtag fuck you, Stephanie, reminds me of is that there might be women out there that we make fun of because they just suck. Like, let's just pick Kelly, random fucking divas that are just good looking that we know nothing about because they never go to the fucking ring. There might be some great women's wrestlers, but hashtag Stephanie, you're not a fucking feminist, go fuck yourself. Is that a short enough hashtag? Can we get that trending? There might be some Taryn Terrells out there that we have no idea about, but Taryn Terrell is definitely the biggest surprise, and I really am looking forward to this women's division. Something scares me because a lot of people say Havoc is really good, especially those that watched her on the Indies. I never got to watch her on the Indies. But I got to watch her live at Bound for Glory here in Tokyo, and Havoc had a really bad match. Like, everyone was having a good time at Bound for Glory. I know it wasn't it wasn't received too well in America. But being there live, it was really cheap for Tokyo standards, and people were having a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the whole time, well, first off, there was bitching in the beginning, like, oh fuck, you know, because it was in between Bobby Lashley and Bobby Roode's title run, and we were joking, we want Bobby, you know, like, because neither of the champions are here. Like on television, I think Bobby Roode was still champion, but in spoilers, Bobby Lashley was champion or something along those lines. And we were really pissed that the champ never came. But once the show started, you know, the masses forgot about that. And everyone had a good time except for that women's match at Havoc. Like, you could hear people whispering. And not only that, but like...
she was wrestling Velvet Sky. I mean,
yeah. And what you call it, I'm like, people whispering, and even like women were like, oh, so you just need tits to be a wrestler. Like, the girl who sat in front of me was a New Japan agent, and she even said, like, she would just whispered and she talked to, because there was a guy and a girl that sat in front of me that were both New Japan agents, and I just remember them going, the girl just going, this is fucking women's wrestling. This is an insult to women. Like, it went over like a wet fart. But I'm worried because, like, people that know about women's wrestling say Havoc is really good. I haven't seen it yet, and I was there live, and trust me, that was a shitty fucking match live. You know, yeah, sometimes...
Like, her indie stuff, she does a lot more moves, you know, backbreakers and, like, a lot of power moves and holds. I agree with you. Like, that match at Bound for Glory, she's wrestling Velvet Sky. I thought they would have hired, you know, there are a lot of, and you know this, Dave, from living in Japan, there are a lot of talented women's wrestlers in Japan. They could have hired one of those women to wrestle on Bound for Glory, and that would have made a lot more sense. But I think the only reason Velvet Sky got that spot because Bully Ray, you know, Bully Ray's girlfriend, and she had it was bullshit. But.
Well, and the thing is, at the stadium, at the hall, there was lines to see her, and people were like, "Wow, look, she's beautiful," whatever, you know, and they're nerdy guys, and like even them, like you could just see people like, "Why did I wait in line to meet her?" Like it was like the most fucking dark fucking. It was just bad, but yeah. But I'm really excited for the women's division here, and where I was going with the Havoc stuff is, people speak highly of her, so I hope that she's not gone, because you ever notice it was like.
There. She just did some tapings for TNA, and they had some matches, and I think she gets a TNA title match or something like that. But the main thing is TNA hire Kana. That's all I really want to say about this.
Yeah. Oh God, if that happens, that would be amazing. It would be, man. Kana versus Kong with American commentary in anywhere. It could be UK, Japan. Oh man, I think people would fall in love with it.
Hire Kana. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just one of you American companies hire Kana. Fuck it.
Yeah, she's actually my favorite female wrestler. I don't know. I love Awesome Kong and Gail Kim too. I mean, like,
Low
I don't know, like, you know, because there's hope at times for the women's division. I mean, you have Charlotte, you have AJ Lee, you got Paige, so there's hope. But dude, if you have Kana, Gail Kim, Awesome Kong, Taryn Terrell, Havoc, who you know people say have potential, I haven't seen it yet. But if you have that, there's no way. No one's even coming close worldwide. You know what I mean? No one's even coming close. But the one thing I do like, and we'll go to live comments after this, is Backstage MVP was talking strategy, and sometimes as a wrestling fan you forget that they ignore the camera. But I like the fact when they're about to go to the plan, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" and chase them out. I just thought that was such a nice touch that people don't do enough. I mean, obviously these assholes know the camera's there, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, I enjoyed it. Sometimes TNA, you know, has the pervert, sneaky cameraman, but still, also, TNA, fucking, if your wrestlers are not going to give answers to your reporters, just cut out that segment. There's something about America that pisses me the fuck off, because Japan does such a great job at it. Like, Japan, they fucking interview, they have real media, they have, you know what I mean? So it's like a fucking experience, you know? And where, like, you could actually do the reporter gimmick well, but, you know, oh, fuck you, what's your fucking stupid question? Fuck, don't talk to me, I'll fucking tell you in the ring. It's just like, dude, just shut the fuck up, dude. Either treat the reporter like you're answering his questions, or get rid of the segment. You mean I wish I had video editing skills and I couldn't have copyright. I would cut up every time in TNA would someone say, "I'm not telling you, I'm going to tell everyone in the ring." It would be a fucking 4-hour documentary. It's fucking ridiculous. All right, let's go across here. Twitter, sportsfan77 retweets us at MarcusNY15. Awesome. Someone on Twitter said, "Start talking nice about TNA, or I'm giving up UFC spoilers." I'm sorry. Don't please don't do that. Some guy named American Alucard liked us on Facebook. Andy Pap said thanks. Christian says, "I won't be able to make it. Haven't watched TNA yet." Well, watch some TNA and come on back. Let's see what else we got here. Boom, boom, boom. You don't need to threaten us. What, my little arrow is there? All right. Jimmy King, the greatest. Crimson is back, and Tevita Fida, a.k.a. Camacho, is now on the roster after winning Gut Check. So is that a good thing or a bad thing for TNA? I don't know. I guess it just depends on... It depends, I guess... Oh, that is a good question. I guess it just depends on the booking, because I wasn't really that high on Crimson. And Camacho is like, You know, I'm not really high on these guys, but at the same time, you know, I could see if you hide them and protect them like they hide and protect Lashley, that they could be stars. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw Crimson, like, when he got let go from TNA, he went to OVW, and he was awesome. I mean, he wrestled good matches, had some good character work and promo work. So there's potential with Crimson. With Camacho, some of his matches on NXT pretty good, you know. There's some stuff there. I don't know if he's good on the mic. So both of these guys, there's potential there, but like you said, it's all about how they get booked in TNA.
BGC Fan 17's asked us a question, and usually you get asked this a lot, but we haven't been asked it in a real long time, so we'll answer it. BGC Fan 17 says, "Do you think TNA will go out of business this year?" I don't know. I think if they were going to go out of business, it would happen without a television deal. With the the Discover, what is it? Discover America.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a new television deal, I imagine, and all that, but they're cutting corners. Dixie Carter, talk bad about her all you want, and some of that is definitely warranted. You know, a lot of people like, don't talk bad about Dixie. No. Sometimes you have to be like, hey, you fucking dirty whore, you're fucking retarded. You have to call it like she sees it. But one positive thing about Dixie. Whoa, KocoSports about to say something about positive about Dixie? Someone tweeted this. That she never gives up. Like, she obviously isn't doing this for profit, because there hasn't been profit in TNA ever. And she could have given up. Now, granted, some of it might see that as a weakness, especially if you're her accountant, if you're her family members, if you're worried about Dixie Carter and money. Not giving up is a bad thing if you're that. But if you're a TNA fan, her not giving up and continuing to fight, even though she has made a lot of mistakes. I don't want to be too positive here. The fact that she's willing to keep fighting, that's a good sign that TNA will be in business for a while. I don't think it's going to go out of business this year. And the reason why is I'm not one of those guys that like, well, you said that last year. You said that the year before. There's been times where it was very close, but Dixie didn't give up. Let's put it this way. If it was a legit business and you were going off profit, they would have shut the doors down years ago. But Dixie has something to prove. Great for the fans, horrible for her family, that she can make it. And I don't think this is the year, no. I mean, and I'm not that guy that's like, because there's a lot of TNA defenders that are like, hey, you said that fucking the first week. You said that a year. Well, circumstances change. Like, if she didn't find, what's the channel? Discover America? I apologize.
Destination America.
A Destination America. If she didn't find Destination America, the odds of it going out of business would have been way, way higher. But Destination America is a newer channel. They're putting a lot of money into it. They
want to grow with TNA.
Yeah, so I think it will be different, and I think they're going to be a lot more stingier with pay. But with that said, I don't see it going out of business this year.
But
I could be wrong because, when television shows get canceled a lot. Go ahead.
The thing with that question is, I wonder how long that guy's been asking that question, because if you keep asking when TNA is going out of business after 10 years, it kind of gets sad in a way, because
it depends on the timing. Like if you ask that question
every
when
year
they don't have a deal with Spike TV, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. But Destination America
since 2002, and you're still asking the question.
Yeah, because there was times where legit, like when TNA went from weekly pay-per-views to online pay-per-views, that was a legit time to ask that. When they were on Fox, you're like, oh, okay, I don't know. But when they went to Spike, they kind of had reviews. When Hogan was driving the bus, that's a legit concern, because Hogan was spending money like crazy, and there wasn't profit. So that's a legit concern. When they lost Spike, it's a legit concern. I think if it does go out of business, because you never know, it all depends on Destination America. If Destination America just gets a hair up their ass and we don't want pro wrestling, then they are in panic mode. But as of right now, I think it's rebuilding, rebranding. I don't see them going out of business unless Destination America is like, you know what, fuck this. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to pro wrestling companies, and she's doing a lot of smarter things now. She was very dumb during that Hogan era. Very dumb. But she's doing a lot of smarter things now, and if she stays smart and doesn't piss off Destination America, I see it being around. But with a lot of these national television deals, like ECW, WCW, Vince likes to toot his own horn, like, oh, I took him out of business. And there's some truth to that, but that's his side of the story. The reality is, the television networks that didn't back them put them out of business. If AOL Time Warner fucking says, you know what, our reputation is going to be shit in a couple years anyway, let's keep pro wrestling, WCW is still in business. If TNN or anyone picks up ECW is still in business. And that's why WWE is really pushing the network. Because when WWE didn't get NASCAR money, they're like, oh, fuck, we didn't get NASCAR money and our ratings are going down, it's downhill, we got to start our own network. And the reason they have to start their own network is if you don't have a way to get your content out, you can't be a national company.
Security blanket.
Yeah, so basically, I think TNA stays in business until someone with a lot of power at Destination America says, nope, it's over. Then you say, oh, is it going out of business? Then that's a legit time to be concerned. But as long as Destination America backs them and Dixie continues making smart moves, they'll stay in business. But one thing that TNA does have going for it is, even though at times most times Dixie Carter should be wearing a football helmet, she doesn't give up. And, if you're going to throw Dixie Carter under the bus as much as we do, you also have to give her credit. So I don't think it's going out of business this year. But like I said, hit me up with that question again when Destination America drops them. Then it's like, oh, fuck, that's a legit question. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I don't know. I don't see it going out of business this year. But, I have the right to change that. Like, if Destination America's like, oh, we're changing the format, or Destination America says, oh, fuck, Wrestling the Project didn't work, and television's really changes on a dime, then my answer changes. Then it's like, oh, fuck, what's going down, But, yeah, if there was and this is going to be an insult / compliment, depending on how Dixie Carter takes it. If it was any legit business person that only cared about profit, TNA would have been shut down, years and years ago. But, for TNA fans, it's good that she doesn't give up. For pro wrestling fans, it's good she doesn't give up. For her sanity and for her family sanity, horrible idea. for her stock portfolio, horrible idea. But
does she really even care? I know you gotta care about money, but she's backed by an oil company. A $1 billion oil company, and That's basically. Is she
Yeah,
like
but
60?
the thing is, like, the parents, like, according to a lot of interviews, especially the one with Sports Illustrated, her parents are really upset with her about it, and I think Panda Energy stopped supporting her a couple years ago, so she's
Yeah.
actually going off her own life savings now. But yeah, here's the thing: Dixie Carter will be safe, because. Even though your dad and mom are like, no, we're not fucking supporting TNA, fuck you, it's not profitable, you got a fucking problem. Because that's what her parents think of her, let's be completely honest. It's still, Dixie Carter comes home and be like, I lost all my money at pro wrestling, Kurt Angle and Hogan took the rest of it, you know what I mean? Her dad's not going to throw her out on the street. So Dixie Carter's is fine. But is TNA fine? That's a different thing. Because I could see Dixie Carter being like, hey, Daddy, I need another $20 million. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So,
But is Destination Americans who's don't they pay a little bit into TNA?
I think so. I think there's, I don't know. I don't know the actual deal, but I heard Destination America is doing more for Impact than Spike did.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
Spike TV is a bigger network. But you got to remember, Spike TV also is the MTV type thing. Spike TV, MTV like attitude where we don't pay stars, we make stars. And they really do believe that. And they believe that they're the reason UFC's success. They believe, and that's why they own into Bellator and all that. So yeah, Spike TV is the MTV of men's television. It's the same fucking company. Where Destination America, they are doing more to help because they're a newer channel and it brings eyeballs to them and all that stuff. So, from what I've read and heard, Destination America is a way better partner than Spike, even though Spike is way bigger. So, we'll see how that turns out. All right, let's go back to breaking this bad boy down. Bum, ba, bum, ba-da-dum. Next, you had the intergender tag team match. Angelina Love, Robbie E. versus Brooke, and Chris Melendez. I was surprised Chris Melendez getting such a huge pop overseas. That was kind of cool. I don't know. This match on paper was really bad. If you're like, oh, like an intergender match, Angelina Love, Robbie E., Brooke, Chris Melendez, you're like, all right, they're just fucking throwing shit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was short, and for it being a bad idea on paper, I don't think it was that bad. I enjoyed Robbie E. pinning Brooke celebrating. I thought that part was hilarious. So it's one of those things where on paper, like if you just read the results and didn't actually watch this match, you can see who pretends to watch Impact and who doesn't on YouTube. If you read this match and you didn't actually watch this match, it would be easy to bury. But it was short, and I thought it was kind of entertaining. I enjoyed it. And Robbie E. pinning her was fucking hilarious.
I wonder what about Chris Melendez, though. Chris Melendez, he needs some kind of a character or some kind of traction before, it's all said and done. Because it kind of looks like they're just throwing him out there.
Yeah, it looks like, and I'm a veteran, and I fucking support veterans, and, even though I'm anti-government, I think you should be able to take care of your, soldiers. I'm talking any country. A lot of people are like, you attack America. No, this is just in general. If you're a government and you can't take, and this is a quote from someone else that I'm going to misquote, but if you're a government and you go to war and you can't take care of your soldiers when they get home, you shouldn't go to war. That's just it, and the suicide rate and all that is just crazy. But to get back to wrestling here, I think Chris Melendez, he has to start doing something because, first off, I'm glad TNA didn't make this just cheap, dirty charity. What I thought it was going to be a one-time deal. Oh, look at us, ain't we good? And then push them aside, just like many, many corporations do to veterans. But they actually are giving them a legit chance. But the thing is, I think they have to do something more with them. Maybe give them a steady tag team partner. They had something with Mr. Anderson and all that. Because even though it's not dirty charity, where you're only doing it for PR, it's starting to look like charity. It's like, oh, here you go. And I think he deserves more than that. I don't know, he was supposed to be feuding with Kenny King, but then that went away. So it'd be interesting. I would like, you know what? And there's two veterans on your roster that are kind of lost in the sauce. Why not make them a tag team? Gunner and Melendez. You know, you have the Machine Gunner, 0331, Yut Semper Fi, and you have the Army Dog who lost his leg. And I'll
I
let,
think they're gonna give Gunner like a main event push from the way it's looking. Like they have big plans for Gunner.
Yeah. I used to hate Gunner, and then someone told me that like he had the same job that I did in the Marine Corps, and I was like, son of a bitch! Like the Marine Corps like just programs you. Like 20 years from now, even when you're out of the Marine Corps, you will have to root. And not only that, but Gunner had the same exact MOS as me, and I'm like, son of a bitch! I'm like, I have to root for my own kind. You know what I mean? But no, yeah, I don't know if he's ready for a main event push, but we'll find out. We'll find out. It should be interesting. But yeah, I hope they attach him to something, because even though it's not dirty charity, it does feel like charity. You know what I mean? And hopefully it does something else. But TNA, thank you. Any company that takes care of veterans gets a win in my heart. You know what I mean? There's so many homeless veterans, so many suicide veterans, and we're talking worldwide. You know, it's so funny because there's so many companies. I'm looking at you, cell phone companies, that will put veterans in their ads but not hire any veterans and try to rip them off. It's, you know what? If you're like, fuck veterans, then I'm okay with that, because you're like, hey, at least you're honest. But if you're like, yeah, support the troops, fuck that guy. Look at him. Man, I'm not fucking hiring him. That's where I draw the line. It's like, no, you can't advertise support the troops and then, you know, all right, get off of my soapbox a little here. Backstage, Ethan Carter III corners Rockstar Spud in the locker room. He's going to cut his hair. Spud's holding his in. Anderson rushes to make the save, but gets a chunk of EC3's hair. Tyrus makes the save for EC3. Like I said, I enjoy everything about this. It just feels... Maybe you're absolutely right about the mid-card thing. It just feels weird that it's like, yeah, Ethan Carter III, Rockstar Spud, oh, Tyrus, you know, Mr. Anderson, this is interesting. And at the end of the day, they're like, I just want to give you a haircut. You know what I mean? Maybe you're right. Maybe a mid-card title would help this feud a little bit more. But I enjoyed this segment. And like I said, it's bringing life back into Mr. Anderson.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Anderson, he's at a weird place right now. He's not, you know, this is not something somebody you would put in the world title picture, but you can't job him out because he's very popular. So they got to do something with him.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I enjoy Mr. Anderson the last couple weeks, and I haven't said that in a really long time. All right, here we go. Impact. All right, this is probably on paper looks amazing, but booking wise pisses me off. First off, they have Gunner confront Kurt Angle, which makes no sense because it went nowhere. But we'll just skip that. Austin Aries gets over like $1 million in front of the crowd, and then you have Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe. Austin Aries is the one who beat him at Ring of Honor for the title, the long ass title run. And Austin Aries was the first one to defeat him in TNA, so there's a feud there. It's very enjoyable. And when I don't know, I just get so fucking angry about the booking. Like, I don't, like, when I watch this, I'm like, Samoa Joe had every right to fucking walk out. It's like, oh, we're the heels, we're the bad guys. Austin Aries has his title shot no matter what. Yeah, just fucking let Austin Aries win. You know what I mean? It's just like, if they weren't going out of their way to ruin the Beatdown Clan, it doesn't make sense. He has the briefcase, so even if Samoa Joe cheats to win, he could still go on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't... Fuck you and your booking. Not you. I made it sound like I was talking American Alucard there. Well, oh, man. Austin Aries does win, but post-match, the Beatdown Clan beat the shit of Austin Aries. And to me, I think this is a lose-lose. Like, I think if you went the opposite way, where the Beatdown Clan beat the, you know, just... It's just, know what it is? It's two great wrestlers being ruined by creative. That's what this is, and it breaks my fucking heart. It's a very enjoyable match. The only problem is Austin Aries and Samoa Joe have had some great matches. Some would even dare say 4 or 5-star matches in the past. And it doesn't live up to hype. It doesn't live up to the Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe standard. But on top of that, it's just garbage booking after garbage booking. Say something a little more positive than me, because I am so fucking heartbroken about the Beatdown Clan being so fucking down in the shitter.
Well, like you said, at least the match was good. It could have done maybe without the interference, but maybe it would have ended better if it would have just been a no DQ, and then it would have ended with a beatdown on Austin Aries. That way, both guys could kind of look strong or something like that.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm glad I didn't order any Beatdown Clan fucking merchandise.
I don't know how they're going to do the merchandise since Joe's leaving.
There's no fucking merchandise. These guys are fucking jobbers.
MVP said there's merchandise coming. He said there's merchandise coming on his Twitter.
Fucking MVP also asked if he should stay or go. For the love of God,
Damn.
MVP, come home to New Japan. Fucking MVP. I don't know. Like, what the fuck? What do I like? I don't return stuff. I'm just like, if you have to be I have to be really, really disappointed in your product for me to return it. I'm just not a big, oh, this movie sucked, let me return it type guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It has to be really, really bad for me to demand my money back. Like, the only time I've ever demanded my money back was ECW's One Night Stand, where Lashley won the title and it went off early. I demanded my money back for that. But usually I don't demand my money back. But if I bought a Beatdown Clan shirt, I would demand my money back right now. I'm sending it back. I want my fucking money. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was probably match of the... in-ring wise, probably match of the night. Booking wise, probably the most depressing fucking thing of your life. Is that fair to say?
From where they used to be
Yeah, you're trying to put a positive spin on this, ain't you? Come on.
maybe it. I understand why they did it. I mean, Aries has the briefcase. MVP has a title match. They had to do something to run interference to why Austin Aries wouldn't cash in, because at the end of the match it would make sense for Austin Aries to cash in, but they had to run some kind of interference. Maybe this match and this whole promo segment shouldn't have happened, because you got a good match, but you got nothing really out of it besides maybe going into a low-key Aries feud, because I know that's happening soon, but out of the Aries low-key feud, we know who uses their briefcase. And that's not saying the other guy won't be a good X Division champion. Yeah, so
you're flirting with the spoilers there. You are flirting with the spoilers. You're about to get a spoiler penalty. I'm about to put you in the penalty box for 20 minutes.
But I didn't go all the way deep into it. I let people's imaginations run wild.
Oh, I hope TNA gets closer to being live.
Yeah.
Like, even because my whole thing is like, how many weeks do they have in the can? 53. I'm being sarcastic.
But might be. They recorded like eight. They recorded 8 days of TV product, and they split it off into stuff. So they may have stuff recorded into fall. To be honest.
That is crazy. Well, it's good because, business-wise, keeping TNA in business, it's affordable. But it's just bad because, ignoring spoilers for 3 weeks, okay. Ignoring spoilers for a month, okay. But if you're going, 19 months down the line, it's almost impossible to avoid spoilers. I mean, even if you use MySpace as your #1 spot on the net, eventually spoilers are going to reach you.
And I think they go back in March to record more shows.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this match, and then we'll go some live comments. So please leave some live comments. I know we're going against Dana White, so I don't know how successful we'll be. No UFC spoilers. I don't get to watch it till tomorrow. Oh man, please. We're talking nice about TNA, so and someone keeps busting my balls. Be like, you put TNA over, or I give you UFC results. I love the internet infantry. British boot camp match. I watched a little bit of British boot camp. I even did a couple reviews of the first shows, but
I've never watched it.
Rampage Brown, really talented, going against Nolan Dar. I don't know much about Nolan Dar. A short match. I thought it was cool because it was to the audience, but you knew something was up because the guys didn't seem, you know what I mean? It didn't seem like they were going in for a match. It looked really, really weird. But the reason why it looked really, really weird was they were stalling for Bram to come out and beat the fucking living piss out of him. You know what? I am a Bram hater, but ever since he and Magnus stopped being besties, I'm seeing more potential in Bram. You know what I mean? Like, and if Magnus comes back, because 2013 Magnus was amazing. 2014 Magnus doesn't exist. We don't talk about that here. It doesn't exist. Shh. American Alucard, we don't have many rules on this show. But one of the rules is we don't talk about Magnus from 2014. That just never happened.
The problem with that was the Dixieland, like, it was the overbooking. It was too much. Like, he didn't wrestle bad matches. It's just, why do you need 15 people coming out, Magnus? Stop it. It killed his momentum.
All right. You're about to go in the penalty box. We do not talk about 2014 Magnus. It does not exist. But
Dixieland Madness. That's more like a Dixieland Madness.
If we get old school Magnus back, it'd be great. But Bram, slowly but surely, he's leaving my hated list. I could see why people like this guy. But then, you know, I don't know why. He stands for everything I hate about pro wrestling, but he does it so good. Grado comes out. I love fucking Grado. And if anyone's been watching this show or anyone knows me as a wrestling fan, it's like, Grado is the definition of what you hate about pro wrestling. But he's so good at it. And Grado comes out, and Bram just beats the living shit out of Grado. And hashtag, come on, Madonna, don't be a cunt. Hopefully we don't see the end of Grado. Because here's the thing. I used to be an indie promoter / indie booker, and I booked thousands of shows. If you have a character that doesn't have to win and gets over, that is pure fucking gold. And I think that's what you have with Grado. I don't think Grado ever has to win, and people will still root for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder because how he's gonna get over in America. I know did he come to the American tapings in Orlando? I think he did.
I don't know. I hope he gets over pretty well because I noticed in British Boot Camp, I did a review or two, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Grado!" And people were like, "He fucking sucks." It's like, yeah, I know he sucks. He's Grado. Like, you know what I mean? But he's awesome. I absolutely love Grado, and just seeing the way the crowd reacts to him is amazing, and hopefully he gets picked up in America. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see Grado's future. I mean, obviously he shouldn't have a title run, but he should definitely have a spot on the roster. All right, so boom. It was nice to get Grado in there, nice to get the local guys in there, nice and short. A bit odd at times then you have our main event, MVP versus Lashley. And run-ins? I mean, that's how you can break it down? A lot of run-ins. It wasn't a bad match. Lashley's very good at hiding his weaknesses. MVP, though. MVP is a lot bigger. You know, you see Bobby Lashley as a giant, but you don't see MVP as a big guy, and most people don't. And MVP was next to Lashley and still looked big as shit. You know what I mean? Not as muscles. Pretend I said that right. Not as big muscles, but yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed the match, but it did feel very
overbooked.
Yeah, like because back in the day, I liked the $10 pay-per-views, but one of the flaws of the $10 pay-per-views was they needed you to come back next week. You know what I mean? They had to do so. One of their strategies was to overbook the main event like crazy, hoping that it would intrigue you enough to buy next week's. You know, because when you're paying $10 per week, you're kind of forced to overbook the main events, in my opinion. But this felt like the $10 pay-per-views, the bad part of the $10 pay-per-views. Everyone comes out, everyone screws everyone, and then Lashley eventually gets the spear and gets the win 1, 2, 3. Lashley wins. Can we have a moment of silence at the Beatdown Clan? Like I said, it wasn't a 5-star match. It wasn't match of the night. But one compliment I have to give Lashley compared to other muscleheads, Lashley is very smart at hiding his weaknesses. Where if you go check out other muscleheads around the world, a lot of muscleheads are bad at hiding their weaknesses because they're so confident because they have muscles, but they fucking suck. I'm not saying Dave Bautista, but I'm thinking it very loudly. But, you know, I don't know. I enjoyed the match. Was it a bit overbooked? I think it was. But just can we just have a moment of silence for the Beatdown Clan? All right. What was your overall thoughts on this main event?
I like the match. I just it could have done without the interference, but I guess it spurs into other things. You got Gunner. He'll probably go into something with Samoa Joe before Samoa Joe leaves, and then you have the Austin Aries. He's going to go into something with Low Key, and then you got Drew Galloway coming out. He's going to get into a thing with MVP. So MVP versus Galloway. That's going to be good, but hopefully MVP gets a win in that one because I don't know if they can take another hard loss like that.
Yeah. Let's see. We got some live comments here. Jimmy King, he says yes for TV title comeback. So some people want the TV title to come back. And it would make sense. Wouldn't the EC3 feud seem a lot better for a TV title? I'm starting to see the point of a second-tier title. I just hope they make it feel important like New Japan does. LB Clash of the Kings. Oh, he's old school. Welcome back, LB. I agree. Too many WWE haters on Dirt Sheet. That's why I refuse to read spoilers for TNA and NXT shows, because I want to be surprised when I watch the shows. Me too. But, like I said, it's easier to avoid spoilers 3-4 weeks out. When you start going months out, it's hard because you're a fan, so you're gonna look around the internet, and it's gonna sneak out. But yeah, I try to avoid spoilers as much as I can. BGC Fan 17 says, "How big of a failure do you think WrestleMania 31 will be?" I honestly don't want to watch it. If it wasn't for this YouTube channel, I wouldn't watch it. Am I the only one that lost respect for Daniel Bryan for being the most over guy in years, but not fighting for a spot? It's just his personality. I mean, he's a company guy. His wife works there. You know, he's not a CM Punk. He's just go with it type guy. I'm like, all right. I mean, he had his WrestleMania moment, so I don't know. It's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, fuck. You know, I don't know. There's nothing of intrigue. You know, some people are talking about this ladder match of Intercontinental title, and I'm like, you know what? I won't be bored during that segment, but I mean, is that really the best you could say for WrestleMania 31? The best thing you can say about WrestleMania 31 right now is there's one match I might not be bored with. And then, like, even if the matches surprise you, like, let's say Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar go all out, and you're like, holy shit, that was a 5-star match. Let's just say, who gives a shit? Like, who cares who fucking wins? You know what I mean? It's just bad booking. Like, people are like, what if Brock Lesnar wins? Will you be happy? No, that's the point. If I could, I would just fast forward past WrestleMania 31. I just want it to be over and done with. I hope the fans shit on it. I hope they do go unsuccessful. But it's WrestleMania. It's tradition. They're Monopoly. Evil fucking wins.
How do you feel about Daniel Bryan possibly being the Intercontinental Champion?
You want me to be completely honest? And I know this is a horrible answer. When it comes to WWE's main product, I just don't give a shit anymore. Like, they officially broke me. Like, Stephanie McMahon could come to my house, knock, knock, knock. How about a blowjob? I'm good. I don't even care. Like, this is the closest, and, you know, I'm always for the fans, be through the thick and thin. You know me, American Alucard. I'm like, no, you know, it's going to be, I'm a Buccaneers fan. That's all you need to know about me. I'm a goddamn Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. And I'm understanding that you're going to have low times. But to have low times and have Vince McMahon say, fuck wrestling fans, and then have enough wrestling fans to blindly defend a product they know isn't good, it's like, all right, we've had some shitty moments in pro wrestling. They were called the John Cena years. But let me be completely honest. I've never seen such obedient lapdogs to a product they don't think is good. Now, if you're defending WWE and you think the product's good, then hey, dude, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it. You're not my problem. My problem is the ones that come on here talk like insiders, talk like they're fucking the greatest thing in the world, and then they have a 9-to-5 job that, you know, has nothing to do with pro wrestling. Those are the guys I'm fucking pissed off at. I'm pissed off at, like, if you're like, I love Roman Reigns, I love WWE, I love sports entertainment, and I look you in the eye as a person and say, well, do you really enjoy it? And you say, yeah, I don't know why, I enjoy it. I have no problem with you. Move along. I'm happy for your happiness. The people I have a problem with are the ones that make fun of pro wrestling fans, defend WWE, and then you ask him, is the product good? There is a guy that gets way more listeners than us, and I'm not even jealous. Like, at least stand up for something. But here's the thing. This is his whole show. You're a fucking idiot. WWE makes the most money. Everything fucking makes sense. Now, I don't enjoy the product. They're like, why? Why blindly defend something that you don't fucking enjoy? This is the closest I've ever been to fucking quitting being a WWE fan. You know, like, I've had some hard times, but the fact is that the majority of online personalities blindly defend a shitty product they don't think is good. It just, no. And not only that, but then Vince McMahon publicly saying, well, what are they going to do about it? You know, I was a Rays fan, I was a Bucks fan, and I had season tickets to all the local Tampa Bay teams. And if I called and complained, and I use this example, I apologize if you already heard the story, but the Tampa Bay Devil Rays weren't always the powerhouse that they are now. And we had season tickets, and it was horrible. Dude, you know, having season tickets for the NFL and them being a shitty team is okay. That's only 8 fucking games. We're talking 16 games a goddamn month. You know what I'm saying? It's a long trek to have season tickets for a baseball team that sucks. And the only thing that got us going was Bubba Trammell. We got behind him. We're like, dude, we could champ Bubba. He hustles. There's some hope. You know what I mean? So it's like, at least there's a guy that we can get behind. And they traded him to the Padres. And I just got pissed. Like, I called up and acted like I was talking on YouTube. I was like, you fucking cunts, blah, 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 blah. And the Devil Rays, who have horrible customer service back then, they even put up with it. They're like, oh, I'm really sorry. We don't really make those decisions. If you want, you know what I mean? But now I'm picturing making that call to the Devil Rays and them treating us like Vince McMahon. Going, blah, 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 you don't know nothing about fucking baseball. And it's just like, all right. You know, yeah. I don't know. It just pisses me off. Another question. Let's see. Do you want to add anything about WrestleMania 31? About it being a failure?
See, you got Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. Nobody's going to be a winner in that one. Tag team match player. I mean, where do they go now? Like with the tag team matches, are they going to give it to the Ascension? Because the Usos going to get back into it. The women's title, it does feel like a mess right now.
Yeah. LB Clash of Kings says, love that TNA put their main event title and the main world title on Black Wrestler before WWE. No offense to former world heavyweight title on SmackDown, but that was not the main #1 title in the company. So even Booker T and Mark Henry held the title at WWE. Didn't want put WWE title on Raw on them, though. TNA is not racist towards certain talents blatantly on TV, unlike the E Company. And I agree with that. Someone asked us a question. This would be a good time to answer this. Carlos Saldana asked, this was earlier in the week, is Lashley versus MVP match next week the first time, well, just happened, the first time there's going to be a major wrestling title match between 2 African-American wrestlers? And I asked Wrestling Ranton, which I felt awkward because a white guy asking about Black history, and I was like, no, it's not because you're black, it's because you're a historian. Like, it was awkward. But I did ask Wrestling Ranton, and he said that if you count the territory days, JYD had 4 championships, like, in the territories, and he won against Butch Reed. Now, some people don't count that as world title, so for the best of my knowledge, which I had to actually ask Wrestling Ranton, who's more of a historian than I am, he said that JYD and Butch Reed did battle for territory championships back in the day. But yeah, so, it was kind of groundbreaking, I guess. American Alucard. Do you know of any Black world champions against Black contenders?
Okay, let's see. Booger. You talking about like the main belt champions?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what he's trying to go with. Because I mean, Booker T did have the WCW title. Ron Simmons had the WCW title. Mark Henry and Booker T in WWE had the secondary world titles in WWE. The Rock, I don't know, some people that's a bag of worms a white nerdy guy in Japan doesn't want to get into. So, but I mean, to the best of your knowledge, when I asked Wrestling Ranton, who's a really good historian, go check out his channel. When I asked him, he just brought up Junkyard Dog and Butch Reed in the territory days. But I don't know if people would consider that to be a main title. Do you have anything to add to that American Alucard, or do you think...
I can't, because it's been so long since you had like a black guy with the main scrap in the company defending against another black... Yeah.
Ron Simmons and Booker T definitely had the #1 belts in WCW.
Yeah, but it's been so long, gap between that time in WCW and now.
Yeah. And then of course you got The Rock, but I don't know, dude.
He's Caucasian and Samoan, so he's not black.
Yeah, because like some people are like yes, some people are no, and then me being a white guy, I'm like I don't think I can answer this. Awkward. Vinny says, "Hey Coco, with the failure of BDC, and it was a fail. What do you think of TNA's biggest group/stable win was?" I am Vinny. The biggest. I guess he's like the best stable in TNA. I don't know. Triple X back in the day was pretty cool. They had some great matches, but I don't know if that's a stable. SEX was kind of pathetic. What TNA stable do you think? The Main Event Mafia. A lot of people loved it. I hated it. So I guess it depends. This is a good question for you because you're a TNA historian. That sounds crazy because it's only been like 15 years they've been in business. But what do you think the best heel faction was? I'm trying to name them all. Triple X, SEX, Main Event Mafia. Am I missing? There's probably some I'm missing here. Aces and Eights, Beatdown Clan. There's probably a lot that I'm missing. Those are the ones that pop in my head, but I'm bad at the old memory stuff.
I'm going to Wikipedia. Let me just.
All right, to Wikipedia we go. I always like pretending. Like I always love the shows where they pretend they're not going to Wikipedia, but you can actually hear them. Wikipedia should have a thing that says "I'm Wikipedia."
When they first started, they were pretty, they were a different faction because they were all women with dudes as their do boys. That was different.
I don't know. In ring wise, I'm gonna have to say Triple X.
Oh yeah, okay.
In ring wise, Triple X, but I don't know. I almost want to go Main Event Mafia. But I was such a TNA original diehard that I despised Main Event Mafia. I didn't enjoy Main Event Mafia. What was your thoughts on Main Event Mafia?
Which one, like the part 1 or part 2?
Oh, either one. You can break it down.
I can see where they're going because you know, all the guys in part one, they were, well, so was Scott Steiner really a main eventer? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He had a WCW main event run, him and DDP.
Okay. I can see it. It's like the decade in our way, you know. Well, not the decade. They aren't main eventers, but they're the veterans of the company forming a faction.
Yeah.
And when they came back with Magnus, Samoa Joe, Angle, and Sting, it kind of was lackluster because you're like Magnus should be doing his own thing, but Samoa Joe
wasn't Nigel part of that? Was it Nigel, or is that a different faction that was Nigel a part of?
I think Nigel, he was a part of, I think, Fortune.
Oh, yeah. Fortune had its moments. I liked certain parts of Fortune. I forgot about Fortune.
You know,
they were heels, right?
Yeah, they were heels. Well,
Yeah.
Speaking of fashions, you know, I know me and you watch Stardom. I did not know that Stardom until these articles came out, and I started reading a little bit. That Stardom has 3 factions.
Yeah. Well, factions are really big in Dragon Gate and New Japan. They have a lot of factions in Japan, and a lot of times it's not even a faction as the same way as America, as it's a team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams. Like, that's why they get the young boys and you sit in a corner. Usually they're all part of a team. So I'm Team Chaos, by the way, if anyone wants to know. And yeah, Mad Blanky. I like Mad Blanky, but I switch. I'm not as loyal to Mad Blanky as I am Team Chaos. Because sometimes, you know, like there's a Dragon Gate group where it had all the veterans. I don't know if they're still around. But yeah. And then they have one where they have all the foreigners. I don't know. I just love all of Dragon Gate. Maybe that's why I'm not so loyal to Mad Blanky. Plus, Mad Blanky is the Bullet Club of Dragon Gate. You'll get some asshole wearing a Mad Blanky shirt, and you'll be like, oh, who's in it? You know, Mr. Blanky.
Dragon Gate USA. I don't watch that too often, but
Yeah. Well, that's by the guys that were basically fired from Ring of Honor and WWN. So they evolved. You can watch all this on WWN. Dragon Gate USA. I watched one Dragon Gate USA, and it was really dark. But not dark like in, oh, spooky, and oh my god, I can't believe they went there. Dark like in, turn the fucking lights on.
Drew Galloway versus Roderick Strong for the Evolve title March the 8th. That should be good.
Roderick Strong's really making a collection of titles. This motherfucker's looking like Ultimo Dragon soon. He's got FIP, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Evolve. I love Roderick Strong. I gotta start watching more independents.
He just needs to stay away from a mic. Like, if Roderick Strong could
that's why it breaks my heart that he broke up with Truth Martini. Roderick Strong and Truth Martini should never have been broken up. That could still be going strong to today. You know what I mean?
I mean, if TNA brought in Roderick, they would have to get him some kind of a manager. Like,
well, here's the thing too about Roderick Strong that I find completely weird. When they went to NXT, a bunch of Ring of Honor guys went to NXT, and Roderick Strong got an NXT tryout, and they said he had good promo skills, and I was like, really? Really? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got promo skills that we're not aware of, or maybe NXT doesn't know what a promo is. But yeah, I love me some Roderick Strong, but I think we're getting off topic here. Let's see if there's any more comments and wrap this bad boy up. All right, boom, 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 and hopefully I'll be doing shows within the 24 hours. We try to do a show a day, but maybe we'll grow some more. Vinny Samurai. Oh, he already did this. At Vinny the Samurai on Twitter. So appreciate it. Thank you. Same question. Da, 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 da. All right. Anyway, you can get that up, boss. Okay. Let's see. AIWF Crazy 8 top cruiserweight tournament. It's going to happen in Aries, North Carolina. Someone wanted me to plug that, so no problem. Go check it out. Let's see if there's a decent website. AIWF.net. So go check it out. Yeah. All right. Boom, 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 ba-da-da. You motherfuckers.
Drew Galloway is just like towering over Johnny Gargano. God. He makes everybody look like a midget.
What's that?
Drew Galloway makes everybody in Dragon Gate Evolve look like fucking midgets.
That's not good.
Oh, vanilla. Oh, my bad. Yeah, vanilla.
Yeah. What you call it? I've just someone said that so, it's some guy in internet infantry. He'll become nameless because we don't want to give terrorism any credit. He said that we had to talk more positive about Impact, or he was going to give us a spoiler of the UFC because I'm not watching UFC live because I live in Japan. And he goes, "Well, you were kind of nice to the UFC." So he gave me 2 results of a fight, and he says one is a spoiler, one isn't. Good luck. Jerks. Vinny also says another question. From all the former WWE stars that went to TNA, who do you think did the best in the company since going there? All right, so out of all of them, I thought D'Lo Brown's first appearance was really good. Christian, Kurt Angle, yes and no. Kurt Angle did a lot of great things, but also did a lot of shit too. So Kurt Angle, Bully Ray, I think was amazing.
Yeah,
I think Bully Ray really improved his gimmick. EC3, if you want to count that, I don't know. Like some people are like, he's a WWE reject. I'm like, really? I don't think so. But you know, I mean, I guess in some ways he's a WWE reject. But you know, when people see EC3, they're not like that guy's from WWE. You know, so D'Lo Brown for a short run. Rhino for a short run. I mean, Jeff Jarrett. I don't know. That's tough. We can't go too far back. But let's see if we're more recent. Bully Ray, Christian, EC3. I'm going to go with those 3. Who do you think is former WWE guy that did great in TNA? Or has improved TNA or improved themselves?
EC3.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle. And, of course, Christian... TNA finally gave him the respect he deserved as a single guy.
Yeah, and also you got to remember, he's the first big name. Like, prior to that, no one chose TNA over WWE. A lot of them were fired from WWE. And I don't know if that's the case, but it felt like Christian chose to be there. So I thought that was kind of cool. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still looking at Galloway versus Roderick.
Okay.
He's god damn. Galloway's tall as shit, or either the guys in the Indies are just short as shit.
It might be a combination. Tall and shit and short and shit. Oh man, but yeah. All right, I think we got to wrap this bad boy up. Let me refresh and get this. Let's get out of here. We're hoping to do more shows today within the next 24 to 48 hours. Maybe a Fave 5, maybe a New Japan show. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see. Thank you for the 6 likes. I appreciate it. And I don't see any more live comments. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. All right, I think we're wrapping this bad boy up. Yep, we're wrapping this bad boy up. Let's call it a show. American Alucard, tell the internet infantry what they can do for you.
Go to YouTube, go to Twitter, go to, I already say Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, type into the search bar American Alucard. You'll find something of my channel or profile or whatever's on either one of those sites. You'll find something with me. That's all.
All right, and thank you so much for giving your time and stuff. Please check out those that support us. Support those that support us. American Alucard will also be coming to KocoSports.net eventually. We're hoping to improve KocoSports.net by building an awesome staff. And American Alucard, you'll be able to see his pro wrestling, combat sports stuff there. And he'll be helping with the site, and we really appreciate that. So he helps with the blogs. He helps with the site. He helps with the YouTubes. So please, if you can, go check him out. And it's great. Hopefully we can grow the internet infantry and build a nice little Coco Sports type network. So American Alucard, welcome to the family. Please like, comment, subscribe on both of our videos. And check out KocoSports.net as we are now hiring. There's a big help wanted sign out front. The guys who do the news now are busy trying to make money. What a bunch of jerks. It's not about money. It's about news and podcasts. Why? I have horrible business partners. They're all like, Dave, we should try to make money. We should have a profit. And I'm like, no, it's about podcasting and news. That's what it's about. I'm leading this company into the ground. But American Alucard will be there eventually. The delay is not on American Alucard's part. It's on Jerry's part. Nothing like throwing your CEO under the bus. Like the editor and stuff. Like, American Alucard it's not his fault he's not posting. It's all Jerry's fault. Please email go fuck yourself Jerry O'Neill .fucking not a real email.com. It's .com. All right. Oh man, I haven't done a good strong bad runner joke in forever. Do you know Homestar Runners, aka Strong Bad?
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Oh, it was like the first Flash cartoon that really made big time. It's you know what? There's two types of people in the world: people that like Homestar Runner and Strong Bad, and the ones that are wrong. It was just great because you know how there's like a lot of cartoons online. Well, I'm old, and this was like the original breakthrough online cartoon, and I think it still holds up. It's pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, and by the way, they're not a sponsor. Not that Strong Bad needs a sponsor. They haven't updated the site in 200 years, but we still love you. HomestarRunner.net. It's .com. All right, I think the show's gone too long when you're just plugging websites that you liked back 10 years ago.
They'll get traffic somehow.
You're like, the next part on our Impact review is our thoughts on Space Jam.
Space Jam.
All right, so please check out American Alucard. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for the comments. Keep them coming. Maybe we'll do a Stump the Idiot. I hope to do a lot more shows within the next 24 to 48 hours. KocoSports.net! And with that, I am over. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum.